Ever pondered over the question, are cell phones in schools a boon or a bane? In today's hyper-connected world, the cell phone has become more than just a communication device. It's an extension of our lives, a digital appendage, if you will, that seems to have a life of its own. This is especially true for our younger generation, the students. These pocket-sized powerhouses are at the heart of their daily routines, from socializing to studying, gaming to Googling. But as Spider-Man's Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And it seems that the growing obsession with these devices among students has raised a few eyebrows, and not in a good way. There are rising concerns about the disruptions caused in the learning environment due to these digital distractions. The constant pings, rings, and notifications create a symphony of sounds that can throw even the most focused student off track. This has led to a rather drastic measure in some states, including Ohio, Colorado, Maryland, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and California, where bans on cell phones in school have been put into place. As we delve deeper into this modern-day conundrum, we'll explore the various perspectives on this contentious issue. In recent times, schools across Ohio, Colorado, Maryland, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Virginia, California, and others have dropped the ban hammer on cell phones. But why? Well, it's not because they're against the latest TikTok trends or Snapchat filters. Rather, it's a move to address the growing concerns about student obsession with their devices, learning disruption, disciplinary incidents, and even mental health concerns. In an effort to improve academic performance and reduce distractions, schools have found it necessary to enforce stricter rules. They're not just asking nicely either. Some schools have invested in locking up phones or using locking pouches to keep them hidden away during school hours. Picture a classroom where all you hear are the sounds of pencils scratching on paper, not the constant pinging of group chats. However, this isn't just about making classrooms quieter, it's about improving focus. It's about reducing conflicts and disciplinary issues. It's about helping students engage more with their learning and less with their screens. Teachers and educators generally support these bans, as they believe it can lead to a more conducive learning environment. These crackdowns, although harsh, are seen as a necessary evil to secure the sanctity of the classroom. But is everyone on board with this? While educators might be applauding the ban, students and some parents sing a different tune. It's not all cheers and confetti in the school hallways. In fact, a chorus of dissent is rising, arguing that cell phones are more than just distraction devices. They're tools, they're lifelines, they're symbols of personal responsibility. Picture this. A student needs to call their parents about a change in pickup time, or they need to check the bus schedule, or they need to coordinate a group project. Without their phones, these simple tasks become Herculean challenges. So, for these students and their parents, cell phones aren't the enemy. They're allies in navigating the day-to-day of school life. Then there's the emergency argument. In a world where unexpected events are, well, expected, having a cell phone close by provides a sense of security. It's like a digital safety net. If something goes wrong, students can reach out for help immediately. But here's a curveball. What if, instead of outright bans, we stressed personal responsibility? What if we taught students to use their phones responsibly, rather than just taking them away? Some argue that this approach would not only solve the distraction problem, but also prepare students for the real world, where cell phones are a constant presence, and knowing how to use them wisely is a crucial skill. As we can see, the cell phone ban in schools is a complex issue with strong arguments on both sides. In conclusion, the cell phone ban in schools is a hot topic of debate, with no easy answers. We've explored the many facets of this issue, starting with the reasons behind the ban. Schools across states like Ohio, Colorado, Virginia, and many more have identified cell phones as sources of learning disruption, disciplinary incidents, and even mental health concerns. To enforce the ban, some schools have opted for locking up phones or using locking pouches, while others rely on personal responsibility and strict rule enforcement. However, this move hasn't been without pushback. Students and some parents argue that they need phones for emergencies and other practical purposes. Amidst all this, we've seen positive outcomes reported, including increased student engagement and fewer disciplinary issues. Yet, the critics persist, emphasizing the need for student safety. While the debate rages on, one thing is clear. The role of cell phones in schools is a question that demands our attention. We must strike a balance that respects the needs of all stakeholders in this digital age.